What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka this Sphinx and Dragon's Dogma 2 has me running around in a circle trying to figure out what to do. I am joined by
Sean MF Ross.
Ooh, what does the M&F stand for?
The Unmuted.
There we go. Nice. All right. Now you know who we are. Press X to Start Gamers Digest is a video podcast thinking that's the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every Sunday, whenever we can make it, guys, because as I say, every episode life is hard. But
listening to us is easy.
Yes, it is. Thank you. I was gonna say my brain did something. I was like, "Ain't no way I'm gonna say that," and I did. And thank you, Sean, for saving me. I appreciate it. All right, don't forget to support us by liking this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music. I think that's what it's called now, or the podcast service you are currently tuned in on. We want you to join our conversations by going to pressx2start.com/Discord. That's right. Our conversations happens in Discord. If you got Discord, you can get our conversation. Well, you can join our conversations. That's the word. Thank you. See you there. All right. Let us jump into the gaming news. HellBlade 2 confirmed to run at 30 frames per second on Xbox. No performance mode available. This comes to us from IGN by way of, wait a minute, it's loading. Taylor lies. So, as the title suggests, HellBlade 2 will be releasing at 30 frames per second. Speaking to GamePro, Mark Salter Tunstill, the visual effects director for HellBlade 2, confirmed the console versions are locked to run at 30 frames per second with dynamic resolution. Okay, sure. With no additional graphic options, such as a performance mode available on console. However, the PC version is not locked to this feature, and increased frames per second can only be achieved on that specific platform. And last little bit is that the VX director explained that locking the console version of HellBlade 2 to 30 FPS made the experience feel more cinematic. However, he did not specify if it was due to anything else, such as technical limitations of the Xbox Series S, because this game is coming out on Game Pass, so it's going to be everywhere.
How much was he
Say
paid
what?
to say that? How much was he paid to say that? Come on, guys. If it wasn't limited, why not do that then, but unlock it on PC? So fuck their cinematic experience on the PC, right? I'm not buying it. We've heard other developers say after the fact, they weren't saying it initially for whatever reason with the Xbox Series S, but after the fact that it's hamstringing development.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I think okay, so in this article they say Redfall was also capped at 30 frames per second, and then they released a 60 frames per second mode later on. Redfall had other issues. I believe Starfield was locked at 30 frames per second as well. Mm-hmm. So this does feel like
design
30
choice.
frames per second is, well, not even design choice, but like what you're saying, like 30 frames per second is going to be where things are locked at to keep the parity between Series S and Series X. And I mean, they might do a 60 frames per second in the future. Then again, they are doubling down by saying that 30 frames per second feels more quote unquote cinematic. So it's a thing of like, if they do that 60 frames later on, then it's just like, what about the whole cinematic things you're talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah. But
and do you think this is going to be the sales boon for Xbox? Because I don't think their general audience, like I think people will play it just because it's on Game Pass. If it wasn't, I don't think their numbers would do well.
Yeah, I am with you in that. I think I really really appreciate like everything Team Ninja is doing to like
Mm.
push forward, mental health and stuff with the way Hellblade portrays it, and the length they're going to portray it like in an accurate way, but that's also used in a an action scenario kind of thing. But it is a very, I don't know how well the game is going to do in terms of drawing people to play the game. Yes, it's going to be on Game Pass, it's going to be free, but at the same time, there's a lot happening in Hellblade, and like especially if you haven't played
How many
Hellblade
people
one,
are
you
gonna
jump
turn
into
it off
this,
after 10 to 30 minutes?
bro. Like I mean, like it is, it is just like part of the whole mechanics in the game is that Senua hears voices,
Mhm.
and a good number of people are playing these games in headphones, and that if you're not ready for that, I can imagine that being like a super
Um,
just
we don't know if they're still gonna be doing that same shtick for this game,
no, they
but
are. They've mentioned like that's going to be part of
oh,
this
okay.
in terms of the hearing. Yeah. So like that's going to be crazy for some people. But again, like I think if they are smart about marketing this and making the action really sing and like showing that off, then that will be enough to get people in and then they can like, decide if they want to be a part of this quote unquote saga or journey with Senua or just jump off like, oh well, the combat's great, but like I don't really, all this other stuff is kind of just weird to me kind of thing. Like that part is always going to be up to the consumer to choose. But
Or you'll have Moms for Liberty banning this game and saying
oh
that
my
it's
god.
demonic. One or the other.
Oh my god, I cannot. Every time I hear news about that group, I'm like, you guys just all of you just stare into the eclipse, please. Just with both
They're
eyes
marketing
wide open.
they're marketing demonic games to our children. Someone please think about the children.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. Like this is gonna be interesting. But like everything they actually, you know what? I done had a video trailer of this thing to show, and I done completely didn't even put it on. Look at that. Look at me. Look at me. There we go.
Mhm.
Boom. Look at that. Caught myself. There we go. Yeah. So the game, I think, in all aspects, the game looks fantastic. They are doing the close over the shoulder third person hack and slash feel that you get from like a God of War. And then the audio is going to be completely like focused in because of how it's used in combat. I
Mm.
think overall the game checks a lot of boxes of this is going to be cool. This is going to be a game of the year contender if it lands and if it does well. I just wanted to pull in. So they've had previews of this game show off, and a lot of outlets are enjoying the game, are enjoying the combat.
Yeah.
So this is just pulled from Forbes, from Paul Tassi. This is from IGN. This battle demonstrated, this is a particular part in the preview. So this battle demonstrated the increased variety of enemy types, with new foes emerging from the shadows, replacing their fallen allies. They delivered both quick range attacks and heavy close-up blows that put my skills, or admittedly rusty skills, to the test. All of this occurred while all hell seemingly broke loose around me as innocent victims met swift and vicious demises, while fire, flames, and all manner of horror filled each corner of the screen. It was thoroughly exciting and felt like an improvement over the original rigid by comparison combat. So like that sounds like real crazy. Like
Mm.
if that is like the feel of this game, that's pretty solid. I again like from what we know in terms of the combat, it's supposed to be more so one-on-one battles. So you're not fighting a lot of people, but the combat
Yeah.
scenarios that you're put in, they are going to be more, I guess, harrowing because it's not going to be like a couple hits and that person die kind of thing. So that's cool. I I want this game to do well. I am a little concerned that the Xbox audience may not be built for this game, but I guess that is the point of Xbox capturing them to try to pull in new people. Oh, yes. So in this video that I'm pulling, it's from IGN, but the director said that they wanted the combat of Hellblade 2 to feel a lot like the episode from Game of Thrones, The Battle of the Bastards, where Jon Snow is just dealing with everything that comes his way. He's not exactly the best fighter, but he's like, all right, well, I don't want to die, so I just got to figure this shit out. So I think that's cool. I really like that episode of Game of Thrones. So for them to like kind of mesh that together, I think it's a really cool thing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Hellblade 2. When that is going to do we have a release date for that game?
Or which one? Senua?
Hellblade.
Very soon, within like 2-3 months.
Yeah, May 21st. Yep. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yep. So close, yet so far.
We'll get Marcus on here to give us his scary ass thoughts on the game.
Yeah, because he was a big fan of Hellblade 1, so hopefully he's a big fan of Hellblade 2. Before we get into this, there's a whole string of Ubisoft stuff. Hey, you, how you doing? You good? Great. You can be better. You always want to be better by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hit that notification bell, because that will give you the little YouTube box that shows up that notifies you of when our next video or our next thing, maybe our shorts as well, because you want to see our shorts. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then our Discord. Join our Discord, because Discord's pretty cool. That's press.com/Discord. Then if you are listening to us and you're not looking at our faces directly into our eyes, you can leave us a review. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music. Yes, YouTube Music, or any of the podcast services you're currently tuned in on. Let us know how we're doing. Thank you.